I just discovered the telepathy tapes. They've been out about a year, and I am freaking out. I am so excited. My hair's in my way. So, the telepathy tapes, if you haven't heard of them, um, it's a documentary. It's audio tapes that I'm listening to. There might be video. I just found them. There's a website called the Telepathy Tapes. I found them on Spotify with uh, really rigorous scientific testing of autistic children to discover that they are telepathic, 95 to 100% telepathic. But even more so, discovering that they go into what's called the field. So they can be in another room, another place, and join somebody in this place called the field. Now, if you haven't read a book by Lynn McTaggart called The Field, you might not have any idea what I'm talking about. She gives a wonderful description through quantum mechanics, describing an energy field. She is an investigative journalist, so the book is very easy to read instead of being super scientific. So why am I so excited about this? Because being a weirdo myself, meaning I've always had the ability to read minds, to connect with people, and yet I've had to maintain a professional career. I was a secret agent most of my life. I did not do the work I do now publicly. I did it fully by word of mouth and very quietly because I would have probably lost my job. I already got threatened many times as a professor for talking about things like acupuncture as related to mental health or diet related to mental health. All the things that are normal now, when I was teaching them, they were considered extremely avant-garde, weird, not scientifically proved. And it's why I never became a clinical therapist. It was also I did not like mainstream therapy. I did inner child work, 12-step programs, which are spiritual. And inner child work has morphed into internal family systems parts work, which I also use with people and use for myself for my own development. But getting back to telepathy, the thing that's hard with telepathy is that if you're a mess inside, what you pick up is going to get filtered through your paranoia, your wounds, your triggers, your sensitivities. So a lot of psychics are telepathic. They read people's minds, they tell people what's on their minds, and then the person feels validated, and now they go, that's a great psychic, and I'm going to pay you more money so you can keep reading my mind, which makes me feel validated and makes me feel more secure and safe in the world. So that is different than being, for example, clairvoyant. Or it is different than having the strength to be in the field with somebody. In the field, you can tell what somebody is thinking, reading, or feeling. But then you see it in the context of their life. So you may say to somebody, you're madly in love with this man, but he honestly doesn't really care for you. He's using you. That doesn't go over well commercially, by the way. So when I worked on psychic hotlines, I was pretty much of a disaster because I work more with the field rather than selling telepathy to keep people calling back and making more money. Going back to this, it also reminds me that the majority of the work I do has to do with getting people who are sensitive, telepathic, clairvoyant, healers. I'm going to call them weirdos in the most affectionate way because they're weird like me, meaning they have a very spiritual life. They're not here just to make money and raise kids and get another house and a car and a promotion, etc. However, being strange and sensitive, you need an extra set of skills to survive in the mundane world. Just like in the telepathy tapes, they do talk about the autistic children, and any of you who know autistic children or adults know they needed to learn special skills to survive in the world of people who are, we could call them head blind, or in Harry Potter language, muggles. So having had to learn those skills myself, how do I survive in a crowd of people where there's too much noise? I'm hearing everybody's thoughts. I'm seeing someone's future when they're talking to me and telling me about how wonderful everything is, and I know a disaster is about to happen. How do I carry on a conversation and act normal? That is a lot of what I work on with people, and that's where psychology comes in. Because you're a sensitive, because you have gifts, because you see things, perhaps you talk to animals or people who have crossed over, which I also do. How do you learn to filter things out? How do you learn to be appropriate in public? How do you protect your energy? How do you assess an environment and decide how to go into it? How do you go to work every day? And how do you do all of this without becoming a sugar addict or a food addict or an alcoholic, etc., which a lot of sensitive people do as a way to self-medicate all the energies that they pick up in the field. I want to encourage you to listen to the telepathy tapes. They're pretty astounding. You might see some of yourself in there. One of the things they talk about is the autistic kids needing touch a lot in order to sort of anchor their bodies. A lot of them put a blanket around themselves. And of course, you can't go to work as an adult with a blanket around yourself. So for those of us who aren't fully on the spectrum, but have a lot of gifts, how do you use that in your daily life? How can you create something that will give you security, groundedness to the earth, centeredness into yourself, and use your spiritual gifts in a way that works for you? So I want to encourage you to think about joining the online groups I'm starting, because I'm trying to expand again back out into the internet world instead of just working locally in person. So for March, you can come and join these introductory groups for free, see if they work for you, and see if you want to join up. If you do join, I do ask for a 2-month commitment the first time around, just to get used to everything. Then you can come for a month, leave for 2 months, come back for a month. The groups will meet twice a week for an hour and a half. There's different dates. Try to have a weekday date and a weekend date. So I hope that you will check them out. Hope you will check out the telepathy tapes. And I'm going to be trying to post more on social media. And I am going to have very low production value, just like this, because I want to keep it real, not polished. And some people will love that and some will hate it. And that's okay. So hope to see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Check out my website, mariefoyer.org. Life Path Healings will also take you there. I'm in Yucaipa, just so you can identify it. I have a little dragon logo so you can identify it. And hope to meet all my fellow travelers out there, because it's kind of a lonely place in Muggle world. All right, see you soon.